we're going to do this in one shot. At least try to do it in one shot. One take, that's all you get. Hey everybody, it's Jay Ball, Blue Jays Outdoors, coming at you with another episode of the 2021 maple syrup season. And I wanted to shoot this video outside, but it's super windy. It's like 20, 25 mile an hour sustained winds with 50 mile an hour gusts. It's cold in the garage, so you know what I said, we'll just do this downstairs in the basement where it's a lot quieter in front of my empty wall of syrup. You can see there's only a few bottles left there. That's my private stash. Private reserve, but yeah, we've been making pretty good syrup. We've got 145 gallons of sap that I concentrated down into 45 gallons of high concentration sap, so we'll be boiling that tomorrow. But what I want to do is talk about something that I've learned over the years that, you know, can help maybe another small producer out there, and that's how to preserve your sap. So, you know, larger producers, they just get such a big volume of sap that for them, if they, you know, lose a couple gallons of sap here or there, 30, 40 gallons of sap, whatever, it's no big deal. I mean, it's still counted as a loss, but for us small producers, we have to save every single gallon of sap possible to maximize our production. Not that the big guys don't, but for us on the smaller scale, you know, there's a few things that we can do that actually make it so that the sap can last a little bit longer, because the sap does go bad. As soon as it comes out of the tree, it will eventually start to grow bacteria. It'll get a cloudy, kind of creamy, milky taste and feel to it and smell, and it'll eventually go bad. So that's why when we get the sap, we just try to process it as fast as possible. We try to boil it down as quickly as possible. But there are a few things that I've learned over the years that hopefully you guys can take and learn from my mistakes, or just learn from the things that I've learned as well. And the first thing is you can freeze it. So I've got in the freezer right now 14 gallons of concentrated sap at about 7 to 8% sugar that I froze, that when I start my evaporator up the next time, I throw them in the pre-warmed pan and boom, that sap is good to go. You can keep sap frozen for a very long time. Not sure if you can keep it frozen indefinitely, but that is kind of a trick you can use. If you have the room, you can freeze some sap until you get maybe enough to boil or to get through a long warming spell, whatever it might be. So the first thing you can do is actually freeze your sap. Now, something that I'm trying to this year is high concentrating the sap through the RO system. So if you have an RO system, or if you have a way to pull some of that water out, when you get the sugar content higher in the sap, it actually lasts a little bit longer. It still will go bad, but not as quickly. If you can pack it in a snowbank or somehow wrap it in, you know, keep it out of the sunlight. Like right now, I've got the 45 gallons of high concentration sap that's outside now. It was in the garage because it's warmer in the garage than it is outside. So I stuck it outside. It's going to get down to like, I think 24 degrees tonight. So I'm going to let that stuff freeze. And then tomorrow I'll boil it in the afternoon when I'm done with work. So freezing really for the small producer can be kind of a godsend. It can really help to your advantage if you have the space to freeze sap. Now, the nice thing is with having the RO system like I have, I can freeze small quantities but a high concentration. So that is a benefit to having the RO, especially from that sap management standpoint. But sap does go bad. So, you know, that's why it's such a grind. It's such a big push. I really try to make sure that my sap doesn't get cloudy on me. If it does, which it does happen, it just turns the grade. It goes to, you know, from golden delicate to amber rich to dark robust. And it's just a natural progression of the syrup to get darker as the season goes on. Bacteria build up, sugar content drops. You've got to boil longer. It just happens. So hopefully that maybe opens your eyes to the ability to freeze sap to salvage it. You guys did see that I stored 15 gallons of concentrated sap in a snowbank when we had snow. We don't have any more snow, but that also is an option as well. My neighbor actually builds a cooler with insulation, and he stores his sap in there so that he can store it all week and then boil it on the weekends. Well, unfortunately now there's no snow, so we've got to boil just as fast as possible. So there's some tips and tricks for you on how to manage your sap or how to keep your sap as fresh as possible. But again, the best thing to do is the day it comes out of the tree is to boil it, because I have seen it turn in a day or two, go from nice clear to cloudy in less than 24 hours. I've seen, especially if it gets in the 40s, 50s, or even 60 degrees for a day or two, the sap's gonna go bad. So really do appreciate you guys watching this quick video on how to keep your sap alive longer, I guess. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell too. Like I said, new video every night, 6 p.m. throughout the entire season. I really appreciate the support. For daily updates, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's blue_J_maple_syrup. I said one take, that's all we're getting. So I really do appreciate all the support, all the positive feedback. Thank you for your time. And remember, the easiest way to change your attitude is about showing gratitude. Thanks, and we'll see you on the Sugar Shack next time.